Therefore, we must clarify the atonement and sin. If it's the atonement, we should make ritual for repentance. According to the method of repentance taught by the Buddha, confess to people, and announce to everyone that I have done something wrong. I failed to abide by these teachings of the Buddha, and I committed a sin. If you have committed a sin, then in repentance there are repentance on theory and repentance on fact, and it is relatively troublesome. It is necessary to sincerely generate a repentant mind from within, and never recreate again, and seek the blessings of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, seek auspicious signs, and seek inspiration. These methods of repentance are said a lot in the scriptures. In the last years of the Ming Dynasty, Master Yiyi practiced the method of Ksitigarbha Repentance Ritual. That is, he followed the method of this Buddhist practice. This method is really very effective. In the Ksitigarbha 3 Sutras, there is a set of repentance methods called Sutra of Detecting Good and Evil Karma and Requital, which teaches you the method of repentance. Master Yiyi used this method to cultivate the Dharma door of repentance all his life, which is also worth learning. However, in atonement, there are many opening conditions, which we must understand. So precepts are flexible, not rigid. I am in the United States. Many fellow practitioners, she has studied Buddhism, her husband does not, and her family members do not study Buddhism. But they do not reject her learning Buddhism. After learning Buddhism, she wants to be a vegetarian, and it will be difficult for vegetarian family members. Once when I was in Miami, the husband of a fellow initiate came to me and asked, vegetarian dishes, if there are no ingredients such as onion and garlic, the taste will be lost and it will be difficult to eat. He asked me, is this prohibited? I said, not strictly prohibited, can be used. You have to know that he uses a little onion and garlic, which is much better than eating meat. You can tell him not to eat meat, but eating a little onion and garlic is nothing. This is the extended condition. If he is not even allowed to use these condiments, he will no longer be a vegetarian, and will still eat meat every day, the meat of sentient beings. We compare the seriousness here, and if we can prevent him from committing a felony, then the misdemeanor can be passed through, and the right can be changed, so there is no such care, let alone just spice it up. This is definitely not allowed in Buddhism. Why is that? Afraid of people being detested, people ridiculed. You see, that monk doesn't keep the precepts, still eats onions and garlic. Layman, if you are at home, there will be no suspicion, and outsiders will not gossip about you. Is this possible? Is there any fault? No fault. Why did the Buddha prohibit the 5 spices? It is a fault to eat too much 5 spices, just like wine, it belongs to atonement. Only when you are drunk, you will make mistakes. Many people fall asleep when they are drunk, they will not make mistakes, that is fine. If you get drunk and go crazy, then you will be in trouble, and then you will be at fault. We have seen a lot of people who are good at drinking. When they are drunk, they will find a place to sleep. This kind of people will not be at fault. Be sure to understand the truth. There is no fixed method in Buddhism, and it is not certain. Adding this to the seasoning is tantamount to saying that it is like a spice, and this will not work. Cooking wine. Some people cook with this wine. The wine in it can't make you drunk. Will you get drunk after eating that? Will not. That is not called breaking the precept. I used to be at the Mercy Light Library in Taichung. There were 3 of us in the staff, and one of them was Layman Lu. He is still alive now, and I heard that he has become a monk. People in Shandong like to eat garlic. Every meal cannot be eaten without garlic. They always eat a few cloves of garlic. An old lady who cooks in the kitchen is also a very pious old layman, and scolds him for breaking the precept every day. But she cooks noodles with Mr. Li every day. Mr. Li is from Shandong who likes to eat noodles with cooking wine in the noodles. Layman Lu scolds him every day. You break the precept, you put wine in it. Look at the joke. In fact, neither side is at fault. A few cloves of his garlic won't work, and even a little cooking wine in the noodles won't work. They are all used as ingredients. In monasteries, people are afraid of suspicions. In layman's ashrams and lays homes, nothing happens. We must understand this principle. If we can't say transgress a little bit, it's a great sin, then we can't say it so seriously. Truly serious sins, they all forget. What is really serious? Look at novice rites and novice precepts. Carrying money on your body is a violation of the great precepts. We carry banknotes on our bodies every day. If you don't mention the big precepts, but exaggerate the small ones, wouldn't it be called upside down? Why did the Buddha tell monks not to carry money with them? It is also a precept to prevent greed. The more money you have, the more greedy you will be. And the more money you have, the more reluctant you will be. Therefore, the Buddha forbids monks to have such money in their hands. Do not carry money on your body, and do not hold gold, silver and treasures in your hands, both of which belong to the atonement. We must understand that this is an expedient facility for prevention. Knowing the painstaking efforts of the teachings of the world-honored one, he has done a lot of preventive work for us everywhere.